This is Lab 3 for my EMT320 SCADA Systems class. Today we're going over tags. So we're going over creating a simulated tag source using the dairy tag set, which was a little confusing to find, but luckily my professor provided a step-by-step walkthrough, and so I will provide a step-by-step walkthrough as well. So the task is to create the simulated tag source using the dairy set, create 2 new folders in your project tag browser called refrigeration 1 and refrigeration 2, create subfolder in each called compressor tower motor, pull in and organize tags from the tag source, which would be our dairy tag set, into each of the folders that we create. There'll be 8 separate motors in the tag source. The first 4 will be refrigeration 1, others with refrigeration 2. Create expression tags that show the amount of error between the current and ideal tonnage for the compressors. So that's the assignment. But before you even start in the ignition designer, you are going to want to come to your gateway. So as you can see, I have my dairy sim here. Now initially it'll start you on this home menu. So if you're wanting to follow along in a way, you go to config, and then you scroll down until you see OPC UA, and you go to device connections. And here it will just usually have your sample device. So you go to create new device right here, and then it'll always start you with the Allen Bradley compact logics. So you scroll down until you see programmable device simulator. So then you hit next, and then you can name it. So you can see I have programmable device simulator and then dairy sim, because I've already made my dairy simulator. So I'll just put that in there for now. And then you go create new device. So now you can see it right here in your menu. But there's still more. You have to go to edit program. And now you can see all of these ones. You could see SLC, generic. Here's the dairy simulator that we're using. And then you can load from CSV. Now I'm going to actually delete this little module whenever I'm done. But I'll go ahead and hit dairy simulator just to show. So then you go load simulator, and now all of these tags have been put in here. And so then you go to save program. And now, yep, successfully reloaded your program. So now I would technically have 2 of my dairy sim. And I will get rid of this. But going over to ignition, you can see, reload. So if you go to the OPC browser, which you can find by hitting this little window button and then clicking right here to pull it up, it'll show you your OPC UA server, which we learned about through the config. And then you go to devices, and now here are all of my devices, my simulators. So you may be a little confused as to what to do from here, especially with the tag browser. Naturally, or at least in my case, my default tag browser was completely empty, and I was so confused about it. But what you have to do is you have to click here, and then you drag into this little tag area, and it'll highlight yellow, and then you release, and now it's in here. And then you just hit the little expand, and you have controls, overview, and refrigeration. So here's the towers, here's the compressors. go to overview, here's sensors, here's the 8 motors that we described, and controls. These are some just specific tags for controlling your simulation. But because I don't actually need this, I'm going to right click, I'm going to delete it, and I'll get rid of it from my tag browser. But it's still over here in the OPC browser. So now quickly I'm going to go back and I'm going to not do that. I'm going to delete it. Yes, confirm. See now I've deleted that. So our dairy sim, my dairy sim is still in here. And so now I'm gonna open some of these. Well, actually looking back on the assignment, we have, let's see, create 2 new folders called Refrigeration 1 and Refrigeration 2. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so it may be a little confusing. But you may be like, oh, well, if I right click, right clicking usually creates a folder in like, File Explorer. But how do I do it here? Because I don't see anything that says, create a folder. You have to go to new tag and then new folder. So we're gonna name it Refrigeration 1. And then we're going to make another new folder, which is going to be Refrigeration 2. Perfect. So now, if we, okay, so now you may be confused, as like, oh, well, I have these folders now, but how do I like open them? I mean, there's nothing in them, so it's like, what do I do? Well, you right click on it, and then go to new tag again, and then go to new folder. So we're gonna name this Tower 1. And now you have a bit of a placeholder here. Or rather, you can open the file. You can open the file, see the subfiles, see all the tags that it holds. But in our refrigeration for our dairy sim, we already have a Tower 1 and a Tower 2. So I'm going to simply copy it, and I'm going to delete the one that I just made. I'm going to right click on it, and then I'm going to paste. And now we have Tower 1 in here. So I'm going to do the same with Tower 2. And now Tower 2 is in refrigeration 2. Now, we also have compressor 1 and compressor 2, so I'm going to do the same with those. So we copy and we paste. So now we have compressor 1 and Tower 1 in there. So let's look over the instructions. So we went compressor, which we have. We went tower, which we have. And we went motor. So let's look. So we have compressor and tower, but now we need a new folder for motor. So let's make a new folder and title it motor. We're going to do the same here for refrigeration 2. And so even with like Tower 1 and Compressor 1, we can right click and then we can rename it just to get rid of the 1. And then we'll hit enter. And so we're just going to rename it real quick just to get rid of that 1. That's the 1 or the 2 that's in it. I'm going to make sure my mic is still working. Okay, it is. So now let's go back to this read. Pull in and organize tags from the tag source into each of the folders that you created. So there's 8 separate motors in the tag source. The first 4 are going to be with refrigeration 1, and the last 4 with refrigeration 2. So let's go in here. We have our refrigeration, we have our overview, and here in our overview are all the 8 motors. So we're going to click on this one, and then we're going to hold Shift and click on this one, and now we can select all 4 of the ones that we need. And we're going to right click, and then we're going to copy, and then we're going to click on our motor folder, and then we're going to right click, and then we're going to paste. And now all 4 of those motors are in there. So we're going to do the same thing again with motor 5. We're going to click, then hold Shift, and then click on motor 6, 7, and 8 before we right click, and we copy, and then we click on our motor folder, and we right click and paste. And now the other 4 motors are in there. Okay, so after even some more confusion, I finally got it. So we want, let me open this up, not this one. We want expression tags that show the amount of error between the current and ideal tonnage for the compressors. So we go to our compressor folder, and you can already see that I've made it right here. But we would right click, and go to new tag, new standard tag. Nope, I missed it. And then expression tag. So I haven't made the compressor error for compressor 2, or the refrigeration 2 compressor, I mean. So I'll demonstrate how to do that. So we're going to close this one. We're going to go to our compressor here. We're going to right click. We're going to go new tag, new standard tag, expression tag. And now you get this giant window right here. Let me move that over. Okay. So we're going to quickly edit the name to compressor error. And we're going to apply. So now you can see this error configuration. We're going to want to get rid of that. So we go to our expression, because we're not expressing anything right now. And we click, and we're going to use our function. So we go to math, because what we're going to do is we're going to subtract our tonnage current from our tonnage ideal. Or, I guess, flip that wording around. We're going to have tonnage current subtract tonnage ideal. So I'll demonstrate with the function. So we're going to go to math. After clicking our little function button here, we go to math, and then we go to ABS, which is absolute, and then we go to insert tag, which is right below our function button. And now, see, be careful, because this is refrigeration 1, so we're going to close that. We're going to open refrigeration 2, go to our compressor, and we're going to scroll down until we see tonnage current. So we can click on that tag, then hit OK. So now here's tonnage current, and then we're just going to put in a minus sign to show that we're subtracting. And then we're going to go to our tag again, and we're going to click on tonnage ideal, insert that, and then we're going to close our parentheses for our absolute. We're going to apply. Now, you may be a little confused because you're like, oh, well, I did that, and my error configuration is still here. Well, make sure you hit your apply button right next to the cancel button. You're going to apply, and now that gets rid of it, and now it's showing the difference between these two. So you can see that's going up, it's going down, it's going everywhere. But that's how we need it to be. So dragging this back to the middle, we now have all of the parts that we need. Now we're done. We got it. We got it good. So we have our dairy simulator. We have refrigeration 1, refrigeration 2, with our 3 subfolders for each. And then we have our compressor error tag in each one. And then we have our motors 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we have our tower for each one as well. But with that, that concludes Lab 3. Hopefully I made a good instructional video. I was learning along the way, so don't blame me if there's a couple jump cuts in this video. But that's it. Thank you for watching.